Fran Harris's smooth jump shot was a staple for UT's prolific women's basketball teams of the 1980s, when the Longhorns were the nation's #1 ranked team 4 consecutive years. Texas rolled to 4 Southwest Conference championships during her career and won 124 of 133 games. Fran was Southwest Conference Player of the Year and Team Most Valuable Player in 1984 and 85. The following year, she was the leading scorer and again Team MVP for the first undefeated NCAA championship team in women's basketball history. A member of the Southwest Conference All-Decade Team, Harris also starred internationally, earning gold medals for USA Basketball at the 1986 Goodwill Games and World Championships and the 1987 Pan American Games. She played professionally for the WNBA Houston Comets and Utah Stars. Fran earned a bachelor's degree in 1987 and a master's degree in 1991, both in journalism. She's a noted author, television host and producer, multimedia programmer, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. Fran travels between her 2 homes in Dallas and Culver City, California.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fran Harris.
Hey y'all. I am always amazed at how wide the tradition of the University of Texas is, no matter where I go in the world. When I moved to Los Angeles about 4 years ago, a good friend of mine who's an actor invited me to play in Hollywood on Saturdays at 8 o'clock basketball. He says, I have to tell you a couple of things. Number one, it's going to be all men. I said, I can handle that. So I have to tell you, it's going to be political. I said, you know what, I think I can handle that. And I get there, and the game is going great. And I mean, I finally get into the rotation, and I'm playing, and I'm shooting really well. I mean, about as well as I was shooting in the NCAA finals. So y'all do remember that, right? And after the game, a young guy who's about 21, 22 came over, and he says, wow, where do you play ball? I said, well, I used to play at Texas. He said, wow, you guys have a great tradition. Wow. I said, yeah. You guys won the championship in '96, right? I mean, you played with Keisha Henderson. He starts naming all these players in the '90s. I said, no, we won the national championship, but it was in '86. He said, oh, '86. And then he says, and I joked, and he said, damn. He says, I said, old enough to be your mother. And he said, yeah, sorry about the damn. So I'm always amazed. It's an honor to be here today, and I've watched enough award shows to know that you never get into naming people individually. But I will have to say that when I came to the university in 1982, I had a meeting with Coach Conrad very early in the season. You see, we were actually playing an exhibition game, and I was so sure I was going to get to play in that game. All my family came down, and I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So first half went through. I hadn't played. I was like, it's okay. I'm going to get the second half, so all good. Get to the end of the game, and I'm the only player who did not play in the exhibition game. And so I go to my friend Kara, and I talk to Arjun, and I'm like, I'm transferring, I'm leaving, this is not the place for me. And I go and I talk to Jody, and Jody says, you know, you can be good or you can be great. And if you want to be great, you have to let me coach you. And I will never forget that. And of course, I stand here today because I accepted that challenge and was fine with that. But I stand here today because I had a coach who believed in me. I stand here today because I had great teammates who allowed me to be a part of their families, their extended families, and I'm always grateful for that. And of course, I'd be remiss not to say there were times when, of course, as exhibition games, I did not get to play, but my family was always there. And rather than naming them individually, these 2 tables right here, I'd like for you guys to wave. This is my family. There when I was not the starter, and for that I'm very thankful. About 4 months ago, I was having dinner with my dad, and he told me something that I'll never forget. He says, you know, when you were a freshman, we were thinking about coming to the game, and Deb, that's my sister Deborah, said, Dad, we have to go to the game. And Dad says, well, you know, she's not playing that much, so why don't we just skip this game? And Deb said, no, that's when she really needs us. And so I'm sitting there, I'm eating dinner, I look over at my dad, I just stop in mid-bite, and I say, you know, if I had known that, I would have taken you off the pass list. So thank you very much, my teammates and Annette, Audrey, Andrea, Beverly, you guys who've been inducted before me, thank you very much. I stand on your shoulders. Thank you to the University of Texas Selection Committee, to Jody and her staff who saw something in me and gave me the opportunity to be a player and a great player at this university. I thank you as well.